Chosen one, stop whatever you are doing right now. Do not scroll past this message. I am not asking for your attention today. I am warning you. You are standing exactly 3 steps away from a spiritual lockdown that the enemy has designed specifically for your life. The algorithm did not place this warning in front of you. Heaven intercepted your feed today because you are about to walk into a trap that looks like a delay but is actually a cage. If you swipe away now, you are walking back onto the battlefield completely unprotected. For the past few weeks, you have been carrying a quiet exhaustion deep in your bones. This is the kind of heavy, lingering tired that 12 hours of sleep cannot fix. You wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning feeling a strange pressure in the room, almost as if you are being watched by something you cannot see. You have been wondering why your energy is completely drained, even when you are just sitting still in your own home. You thought you were just losing your motivation, telling yourself you were falling behind and not trying hard enough to keep your life together. I am here to reframe your reality right now. You are not losing your mind, and you are not experiencing a random season of bad luck. That physical weight on your chest is not a worldly condition. It is intense spiritual warfare. Your spirit has been working overtime in the unseen realm, fighting off attacks that were meant to destroy your family and block your future. You are exhausted because you are standing as a watchman for people who do not even know they are under attack. You have been acting as a human shield in the spirit, and your physical body is feeling the impact of that heavy mandate. Take a deep breath and listen very carefully to what comes next. Do not let your mind wander, because what the enemy is planning requires you to be distracted and confused. He knows he cannot stop the massive provision God has already released for you. He has seen the decree in the courts of heaven, and he is terrified. So his final strategy is to put your mind into a spiritual lockdown before you can receive that blessing, paralyzing your discernment with brain fog, so you will miss the exact moment your door opens. I am going to show you the exact blueprint of this trap, but first you must understand why you are the primary target. You have always felt different from the people around you. Even as a child, you carried a frequency that made ordinary rooms go quiet when you walked in. You have spent your whole life absorbing the pain of others, acting as a spiritual sponge for toxic environments, and surviving battles that would have broken an ordinary person. Hell is not attacking you because you are weak or because you have failed. Hell is throwing everything at you right now because your awakening is the greatest threat to its kingdom. The darkness is trying to steal your clarity because it knows that a fully activated chosen one is absolutely unstoppable. What felt like isolation was actually incubation. The people who walked away from you recently did not leave because you did something wrong. Heaven cleared your room because the frequency you are about to enter cannot be shared with those who are committed to misunderstanding you. You have been reading the signs backwards. You thought the silence meant God had forgotten you, but the silence is simply the sound of a new architecture being built inside your spirit. The enemy wants you to focus on the loneliness, so you will not notice the massive upgrade happening in your unseen realm. This is exactly why the attacks have shifted from your external circumstances directly into your mind. The brain fog, the scattered thoughts, and the sudden inability to remember simple things are not random occurrences. They are a targeted interference pattern. Heaven is trying to download the next phase of your mandate, but the enemy is scrambling the receiver. If he can keep your mind operating at a fraction of its true capacity, he can keep you from stepping into the authority that was ordained for your bloodline. Now, I want to pause and hold something in front of you before we continue. There is a very specific number that won the most prestigious prize in science in 1981. A small group of neuroscientists discovered something about the way the human brain was originally designed that explains exactly what chosen ones have felt but could never name. When you hear what that number means, you will understand that this spiritual lockdown is a physiological reality. I'm going to tell you exactly what they found later in this message, but right now I need you to hold this one question. What if the fog in your head is not who you are, but something that was stolen from you? Do not let your attention drift right now. The closer you get to the truth, the stronger the pull will be to return to distraction. If you feel a sudden urge to swipe away, recognize that as the enemy trying to pull you out of alignment before the revelation lands. Every second you stay connected to this message, your spirit is actively participating in your own restoration. You must stay here, because understanding this hidden architecture is the only way to break the cycle of delay that has held your family back for generations. I need you to listen very closely to this next truth. If you feel a sudden wave of boredom or a strong desire to skip ahead while I explain this, you must understand that it is a direct attack. The enemy does not want you to know the mechanics of your own mind, because your ignorance keeps you powerless. Hearing this specific truth is a spiritual test of your discernment, so you must anchor your spirit right here. What the world calls a scientific discovery, heaven calls the original blueprint of the chosen vessel. Throughout Scripture, every time God was about to elevate a chosen one, the enemy tried to attack their physical capacity to receive the divine instruction. The wilderness season was meant to clear the noise, but the modern world has engineered a system to keep your mind constantly fragmented. God designed your brain to operate in perfect harmony, a state of complete synchronization, where heaven can transmit clear visions and exact strategies. But the daily demands, the toxic environments and the heavy emotional burdens you carry for others have systematically dismantled that divine connection. It is a neurological theft disguised as everyday stress. In 1981, a profound truth about this divine design was proven in a research laboratory, and it won the Nobel Prize. Dr. Roger Sperry discovered that the human brain has two distinct hemispheres that were built to operate in perfect, unbroken synchronization. When both sides of your brain communicate seamlessly, you enter a state of whole brain activation. This is not just a biological function, it is the exact frequency required to hear the whispers of the Holy Spirit without the static of fear and confusion. It is the state of mind where miracles are perceived before they even manifest in the physical world. Do you remember how sharp your intuition was when you were a child? Science shows that 98% of children operate at this level of creative genius and complete neural harmony. You were born with this unrestricted power, but less than 1 in 1,000 adults are able to maintain it today. The modern way of life systematically suppresses this synchronization from the time we enter the world, rendering your greatest weapon mostly deactivated. Your spiritual powers and your prophetic destiny have been stolen from you at the neural level, which is why your prayers lately feel like they are hitting a brass ceiling. This is exactly why you must stop blaming yourself for the delay in your life. You are not lazy, and you have certainly not lost your anointing. Your biological receiver has simply been knocked out of alignment by a world that is terrified of your true potential. The fog that sits heavy behind your eyes is the physical evidence of this disrupted frequency. Pay close attention to what follows, because I am about to reveal how this connection can be restored and how the lockdown over your mind will be broken. You have spent years arranging the furniture of your life around this mental exhaustion. You accepted the brain fog as a permanent condition, telling yourself that this is simply the cost of carrying a heavy spiritual mandate. But I need to confront a hidden agreement you made with the enemy a long time ago. When you agreed with the lie that your mind was just naturally declining, you built a golden cage out of your own lowered expectations. That lie became a shelter, giving you a reason to step back from the massive destiny heaven has been trying to hand you. If your mind feels heavy right now and you are tempted to look away, you must recognize that as the darkness trying to keep the blindfold on. The enemy rarely attacks hardest when you are stagnant. He attacks hardest when you are inches away from a total elevation. He wants you to believe that the confusion is your fault, that you are simply not disciplined enough to break through the ceiling. But what if your spiritual disciplines are perfect, and it is only the physical receiver that is damaged? You have been fighting a neurological war with spiritual weapons, wondering why the complete victory is always delayed. Look back at the last 5 years of your journey. You have forgiven people who never apologized, you have endured seasons of intense isolation, and you have sought God in the quietest, most desperate hours of the night. You have done the work. You have passed the tests of character and discernment. So the delay you are experiencing right now is not a punishment for lack of faith. As a generational cycle breaker, your mind is the command center for your entire bloodline. The current delay is a mechanical failure in the vessel, a deliberate disruption of your neural architecture designed to keep you operating at a fraction of your true capability. You have been mourning the version of yourself that could focus, create, and perceive spiritual shifts without effort. You remember a time when your thoughts were sharp and your connection to the divine felt instantaneous. The enemy convinced you that carrying too much stress permanently erased that powerful version of you. But a dormant power is not a dead power. The capacity for whole brain activation is still perfectly intact inside your neural pathways, waiting for the correct signal to awaken it. Heaven does not create a chosen vessel with only a temporary capacity for greatness. What I am about to show you next is going to connect the deep spiritual frustration you have felt in your own experience with the exact solution discovered in that research laboratory. This connection is going to explain the hidden mechanics of your life in a way that nothing else ever has. You are going to understand why the universe has felt so distant lately and exactly what must be done to restore the channel. The bridge between the spiritual authority you were promised and the physical reality you are living is found in this specific restoration. Do not let the enemy rush you out of this moment. You are about to step into the most confrontational truth of your entire journey. The time for apologizing for your power is completely over. Heaven is not asking you to try harder. Heaven is preparing to hand you the exact blueprint required to flip the switch back on. Prepare your spirit, because the lockdown over your mind is about to be shattered permanently. Remember the question I asked you to hold at the very beginning of this message. I told you that you were 3 steps away from a spiritual lockdown, and I asked, what if the fog in your head was actually stolen from you? Here is the exact truth that the enemy has been terrified you would discover. The lockdown is not an attack on your finances, and it is not an attack on your physical health. The lockdown is the deliberate severing of the connection between the 2 hemispheres of your brain. The enemy could not touch your spirit, so he attacked the physical receiver that your spirit uses to communicate with the world. Many would have walked away when these words became uncomfortable, but you remained, and that matters more than you realize. You have passed the test of discernment. But if you leave before this message ends, you will miss the exact divine instruction that determines the next decade of your life. The darkness relies on your ignorance to keep the cage locked. When you finally understand how the trap was built, the trap loses all of its power over you. The enemy watched you when you were a child, operating in that pure state of creative genius. He saw how clearly you heard the voice of God and how quickly you recognized the shifting of spiritual atmospheres. He knew that if you grew up with that unbroken synchronization, you would dismantle his kingdom effortlessly. So he engineered a modern lifestyle of stress, trauma, and constant noise to slowly grind your neural architecture down to a fraction of its original power. Every time you absorbed the toxic energy of a counterfeit relationship, another connection in your mind was forced to shut down. Your mind is not failing you because of natural decline. Your mind is actively being suppressed because you are a celestial warrior operating in enemy territory. You have spent years repenting for a lack of focus, begging heaven to fix what you thought was a character flaw. I need you to release that guilt right now. Heaven recorded your struggle, and heaven saw your waiting as pure worship. The exhaustion you feel is simply the massive friction of a limitless spirit trying to operate inside a deliberately suppressed physical receiver. The enemy wanted you to feel broken, so you would never attempt to rise. But heaven is declaring today that you are not broken. You were simply operating under a stolen frequency, and the time for living on 10% of your capacity is officially over. This is the moment the spiritual scales fall from your eyes. The great swindle of our lifetime is the lie that you have to live with this mental fog forever. God has not forgotten you, and the miraculous provision He has arranged for your next season requires the full version of who you were designed to be. The restoration of your mind is no longer a distant hope. It is an immediate requirement for the massive kingdom assignment ahead of you. In the next few moments, I am going to show you exactly how that restoration happens, and the door to your total freedom will be opened. What I am about to show you is going to connect something you have felt in your own experience with something discovered in a research laboratory. In 1981, a truth about the human mind was proven in a clinical setting, and it won the Nobel Prize. Dr. Roger Sperry proved that the two hemispheres of the brain were designed for perfect synchronization. When they operate together, they produce a state of whole brain activation. Research shows that 98% of children operate at this level of creative genius, but less than 1 in 1,000 adults are able to maintain it. The modern world slowly erodes this connection, stealing your cognitive power at the neural level. A woman from California described what it felt like before she found the answer. She had tried everything from meditation to journaling, and she kept arriving at the same frustrating experience. She believed the spiritual truths, but could not feel the reality behind them in her daily life. After 10 days of using this specific restoration protocol, she said, a channel that had been blocked was suddenly wide open. Not because she tried harder, but because the physical receiver had been repaired. A man from Texas experienced something strikingly similar. He had spent years holding things together for everyone around him, while his own interior life became thin and distant. He said his prayers had started to feel like he was talking to a wall, because his frequency was right, but his biological receiver was off. 2 weeks later, he woke up and described his mind as running on full capacity. The fog that had been so consistent he stopped registering it as fog was completely gone. This happened because of what a specific team of neuroscientists spent years building. A team of experts led by Dr. Daniel Barone in New York took over an hour of clinical neural sync technology and compressed it into an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence. 8 minutes a day with headphones on and eyes closed is the entirety of the physical requirement. They call it the genius switch. Your genius switch is not a brainwave product, and it is not a meditation track designed to put you in a particular mood. It is a targeted sequence specifically engineered to reconnect the two hemispheres of your mind and restore the whole brain activation that was your default state in childhood. Your genius switch is not for everyone. It is for the chosen one who understands that God prepared not only the promise, but the mind that must walk into it. It is for the person who has done the work and who is willing to stop treating the mental fog as a character flaw. Most people will accept their reduced capacity as permanent, but you are still here, and that is the specific persistence this was built for. 18,456 is the exact size of the community of chosen ones who decided their mind deserved what their spirit already claimed. The one who joins them does not just access a tool, they complete a profound spiritual restoration. Colleagues suggested this would be incredible value, even at $500, considering in-person neurofeedback sessions cost thousands. But it was released at $49 to ensure access for those who truly need it. Today, on the direct page, there is an additional reduction, making it exactly $39. It includes 4 free bonuses, like a guided visualization and a classic manifestation text, completely backed by an unconditional guarantee that returns every dollar if it does not clear your fog. $39 is not a cost. It is the gap between the exhausted version of you and the fully activated mind you were designed to operate with. The true price is what you have already been paying every single day. The synchronization stays disrupted. I need to be very clear about something right now. Pages like this one have a way of disappearing because information that touches what certain institutions would rather keep quiet does not always stay available. The link below is live today, but I cannot promise it will be there forever. The enemy would like nothing more than for you to postpone this until the door is permanently gone. If you search online for anything similar, you will find counterfeit tracks with absolutely no neural sync technology embedded in them, making the direct page the only verified source. If your spirit resonates with this truth, the link in the description below and in the pinned comment points to where Dr. Barone made it available. The tool does not replace God. The tool does not replace your obedience or fight the battles for you. What heaven is doing inside your spirit is not conditional on any physical object, but a tool that restores the receiver, gives what God is doing more of the clarity it was designed to land in. A restored mind can perceive the divine strategy that a clouded mind completely misses. And for the chosen one who felt something stir when the mind was mentioned earlier, that door is still open in the description. It is a small step, but small steps taken from a clear mind have changed entire seasons. The resource from the team in New York is placed in the description and in the pinned comment for those whose spirit confirmed it. That is the only place I will mention it. The rest of what remains in this message belongs entirely to something deeper. Notice your shoulders right now. They just dropped. That is not just physical relaxation, that is the first spiritual seal being removed from your life. The heavy pressure you have been carrying is already beginning to lift because heaven is actively breaking the hidden agreements of your past. Do not let your mind rush back to the worries of tomorrow or the pain of yesterday. You are standing on sacred ground right now, and what we are about to do will permanently lock in the miraculous provision that has been assigned to your name. For months, maybe years, you have been walking through a season of profound isolation. You watched doors close, relationships fade, and felt like your prayers were hitting a brass ceiling. Heaven wants you to know that you were not being punished, you were being hidden. God isolated you to protect your inner architecture from frequencies that could not travel with you to this next dimension. The enemy tried to convince you that you were abandoned, but you were actually being insulated for a massive deployment. Take a deep breath and hold it for just a moment. As you exhale, I want you to release the heavy armor you have been wearing for the last 5 years. You do not have to fight the battles of everyone around you anymore. The watchman is finally allowed to rest. You have spent so much time being the emotional sponge for toxic environments, constantly absorbing the chaos of others, while your own spirit was starved for peace. God is stepping in to fight for you now, and his victory over your enemies is absolute and final. I need you to physically participate in this next moment, so your body aligns perfectly with your spirit. Place your hand over your heart right now. This is not just a gesture, this is a physical declaration that you are taking back the territory the enemy tried to steal. Feel the steady rhythm of your heartbeat and recognize that every single beat is a testament to your survival. The darkness tried to bury you in isolation and confusion, but it did not realize that you were a seed. You were planted in the dark so you could break the ground when the appointed time arrived. Speak these words out loud or type them in the comments below as a permanent signature on your heavenly relocation order. Type, I release what was never mine to carry, and I receive the clear mind heaven designed for me. When you type those words, you are not just leaving a comment on a video. You are signing a spiritual contract with the universe, giving the angels the exact authorization they need to move the obstacles out of your way. You are officially closing the door on the survival identity and stepping fully into the frequency of the chosen one. Let that truth settle over you in complete silence for a moment. The decree has been read in the courts of heaven, and it has been verified by the Holy Spirit. The cycle of generational delay ends with you right here and right now. Your spirit is no longer operating under the heavy weight of an unauthorized lockdown. The chains have been broken, the fog is lifting, and the divine alignment you have been praying for is now locked into your physical reality. Hit that like button so this exact message can reach another chosen one who is struggling in the dark. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on notifications, because heaven is not done speaking to you and you cannot afford to miss the next instruction. Share this video with someone who has been unusually quiet lately, because this might be the exact lifeline they have been praying for. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine waking up 14 days from now. The fog that has been sitting heavy behind your eyes for months is completely gone. The prayer that felt like it was hitting a brass ceiling is finally landing, and the decision you have been circling for years is suddenly very clear. That version of you is not hypothetical. That is the exact version 18,000 chosen ones describe after their biological receiver was restored. Now we come to the last door. the door I named earlier and have not returned to since. It has not moved, and everything that was waiting behind it is exactly what it was when I first described it. Your genius switch is waiting on the other side. $34.79 to walk through an unconditional guarantee that costs you nothing to try, and 4 specific pieces of provision waiting for you. $39 is not the price. The price is every single day your mind stays in that unauthorized lockdown. The real cost is the massive kingdom assignment that gets delayed because the physical receiver could not hold the frequency heaven was trying to pour into it. You have my permission to invest in yourself. Not because I am your authority, because I am not. I am simply a conduit. But I have watched far too many chosen ones treat $39 as an extravagance while they spend their entire spiritual capacity covering the needs of everyone else. You are completely allowed to restore your own mind. The path to it is in the description below and in the comment pinned to this video. Both point to the same door. And for the one whose spirit asks what comes after this door, there is a second door. They call it youthful brain. It will find you tomorrow morning before the noise of the world begins, before the phone lights up and the demands land. Put on your headphones. Close your eyes for exactly 8 minutes. That is the very first thing your restored mind does on the first day of this new season. Take one final deep breath. The heavy season of preparation is officially over, and your time in the wilderness has concluded. You are no longer operating from a place of deficit. You are stepping directly into a place of divine overflow. The enemy failed to stop you, and every trap that was set for your mind has been permanently dismantled. Walk out of this room knowing that the Creator of the universe has already secured your ultimate victory, and go in peace.